Hello, today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the Matilda medium tank. This is one of the tier 4s which leads onto the Churchill Mark 1 along with the Valentine. So let's just get into it. Okay, I've only played about 55 games with this, but I played extensively with the Matilda Lend-Lease. They're basically the same armour wise, almost identical. So I've got quite a bit of knowledge with that, but let's get into it. Okay, so on the front armour you've got 75mm. This is pretty good, will bounce almost every tier 3, a lot of tier 4s and some tier 5s. Pretty decent, especially given it's now tier 4 instead of tier 5 as the Lend-Lease one was. 55 side armour, it is pretty damn weak. If you're fighting pretty much any tank above tier 3, you're going to want to have it head on. Really do not expose the side armour unless you want to be pounded. Even with this sort of spaced armour, it doesn't really do much. It's only really tier 3s you're going to notice it on. So now onto the rear armour. 55 again, but this is actually pretty decent. The lower portion is obviously going to depend on every shot, but the actual engine deck itself, a bit like the KV1, is actually pretty bouncy. You will bounce quite a few tier 3s and 4s on it, but I wouldn't trust it too much. At the end of the day, it is only 55mm. So that's pretty much it for the hull. Seems relatively good, especially for tier 4. So now moving on to the turret. 75 all round. It's basically identical to the Lend-Lease one. Pretty nice and bouncy, and just in general quite nice. With this gun it has about -10 gun depression I think, so it's pretty decent to be fair. And all in all, the armour on this tank is nice. Just a note, these boxes will not count as armour, part of the tank, sorry. So if you shoot them from this angle where you can only hit them and nothing else, it will go straight through, same with the fuel tank. Okay, so now on to the manoeuvrability of this tank. This is where it's really bad. Traverse 36, pretty decent, and 34 turret traverse. So traverse wise it's okay, but acceleration and top speed is really quite awful. 190 horsepower pushing 27 tons. It's horrible, really sluggish, especially when you compare it to the Lend-Lease one, which was about 274 horsepower for the same weight. But 24 speed limit, it is slow, but given the armour it's okay. And also, let's go on to the gun now. This is the best part of the tank by far. Okay, so here the gun is. 121 penetration, that's fantastic for this tier. You can pen every tier 4, I guess every tier 5, and a lot of tier 6s. You can really fight tier 6s with this as long as you don't get shot by. If you just pick them off from range while your teammates are combating them, you can do lots of damage to them, which is quite surprising. 55 damage, so quite low damage, but given the penetration, it's awesome. .36 accuracy, really quite nice to be fair. 1.9 aim time, once again pretty damn nice, but the rate of fire is amazing. 28.57 with vents, gun rammer, 100% crew. I guess you're looking about a 1.8 reload. So comparing to the 57mm on the Churchill Premium T34 and KV1, which was 112 pen, 85 damage and about 1.94 reload with all of those modules and crew. It's amazing really, this gun. I mean, you can really do wow with it. So all in all, this tank combined the armour, the hit points 370, and the gun, it's fantastic. Just, you will still want to be careful with that with the acceleration, because it is sluggish, but other than that it's a fantastic tank, and you can still play incredibly well even though you aren't fast tanking the slightest bit, purely because of the gun, to be honest. Okay, so here's the tech tree. You start off with this 2-pounder, 78 penetration, 50 damage. It's pretty decent, to be honest. Not too bad. Personally, I would go straight for this gun. You can get the howitzer, which is 38 penetration, 175 damage, so it's a derp gun. But ignore that, don't bother with that, just go for this 2-pounder, it's fantastic, trust me. So go for the 2-pounder, then you've got the option of tracks or engine. The stock engine is 174 horsepower, the upgrade is 190, the track stock is 34 and it goes to 36, so it depends what you want first, whether you want to get the better engine first or the better tracks, up to you, to be honest. Then after that I would go for the turret, which you have to unlock the howitzer first, and then the turret. This adds an extra 30 hit points, plus I think an extra 10 meters of view range, and then you can go for radios if you want, and obviously to Churchill 1. So that's personally how I would do the tech tree for this tank, and all in all this tank is really good. I would say it's the best tier 4 in this game at the moment. Hetz is pretty good, but I mean, just as a tank, just a tank itself, ignoring TDs, this is by far the best. So anyway, I hope this gives you a decent insight to the Matilda Mark II medium tank. It's really fun to play, and I will be keeping this. I will sell another tank in order to get space for the KV1, Churchill 1, sorry, because this is such a nice tank and it's pretty decent at earning money as well. So anyway, I will be doing more of these insights to tanks. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.